everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook process video, and thank you for joining me again today. Today I am doing this layout for My Little Scrapbook Store. A lot of you may know that I am on the design team for My Little Scrapbook Store. I have not had any time to do anything, but you guys probably know that due to the lack of videos. But Michelle sent me the Paige Evans Splendid Happy Scrappy Bag. And I was actually surprised. I think the only other thing that I've ever purchased from Paige Evans was Bloom Street, which is still sitting on my shelf waiting to be used, just like everything else. But I was surprised. There's a lot of colors that lend well to like the Doodlebug colors and things like that. So um, yeah, I'm not usually an American crafts person. You guys know that, but I was happy to get this one. She offered, and I said, sure, I'll try to make some layouts with it. So I made a couple layouts, this one and another one. And it is also May. Hopefully I will get this up. I will just go ahead and maybe get this up right away. For National Scrapbook Day, we did have a mini online crop. I really didn't participate much. Again, I just have so much going on right now, and hopefully things will settle down a little bit more in the next couple months, and I will have more time to craft and so on and so forth. But what I showed you in the beginning was a sketch that Tisa did. Tisa is also on the My Little Scrapbook Store design team. And it was one of the challenges for the crop. Now, you do have until, I believe, June 4th if you want to enter into any of the challenges. To enter a challenge, you have to be part of the My Little Scrapbook Store online crop Facebook group. I will link that below. It's actually pretty fun. During the crops, we will have like open Zoom rooms, different lives, different videos, etc. So let me know if you have any more questions about that, but I will leave a link to the Facebook group below. I will also leave a link to this My Little Scrapbook Store Happy Scrappy Bag for this Splendid collection. Now, if you go and look at the collection, you can actually watch the video where she did the live sale, and she shows all the things that you get. You get so much stuff with this Happy Scrappy Bag. It's insane. So what I decided to do was I immediately knew when I saw this kind of diagonal paper that I wanted to use this to try to use this with the sketch. Now, when I first finished, I kind of wasn't sure about this layout, but when I look at it again, I actually really like it. It's very busy. There's a ton of photos, but it's kind of fun and different. So I was very happy with the results. Anyways, I did take that diagonal paper and I just used my scissors and cut along. You can kind of see the different diamonds and stuff that's on that pattern paper. I just kind of cut along those, and the diamonds themselves are kind of wonky and not in a straight line. And I figured if I didn't cut in a straight line, it really wouldn't matter because a lot of it's going to be covered up anyway. So this side I struggled with. I probably should have just cut another one of the yellow papers, but I was trying to save paper. So I had to kind of cut down this diagonal paper over and over again, which you probably are watching me do. But I just couldn't get it to line up very well with the yellow paper, and I wanted enough of the yellow paper to show, but I didn't want to keep cutting it too small, but I decided I'm just going to have to cut it a little smaller to get it to work. And the one part that bothers me is down on the bottom. You can kind of tell like it doesn't really fit. Like, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but after I got it all down and started gluing on my photos, I didn't even really notice. So, these are some photos that I recently took. My mother and I went to some peony gardens, and yes, I'm going to call them peony because it's an inside joke in my family. Kind of a funny joke. So that if you hear me referring to them like that, don't worry. I know that they're peony gardens, but it's, like I said, an inside joke. But I had all these floral pictures, and I thought that the colors went really well. I did go ahead and pre-cut a lot of them down and matte them. I didn't pay attention to like if there was a green mat next to a green mat. I did try to move a couple of them around to change up not only the colors of the florals or the flowers in the pictures themselves, but also I did try to kind of change so there wasn't so many green mats next to each other or yellow, but in the long run, I really didn't care. Not that I didn't care, but I just wanted to play and have fun. But I'm also, trying to spread the colors of the flowers around a little bit as well. So these are just some photos. Not sure, I'm going to have to point out because I absolutely love, and it was a total accident, that photo on the top left, the big one. In the left top corner of that photo is a bee flying towards that flower, and that was a total accident. I did not know I was getting that bee in the picture, and it was pretty cool. I really like the picture. I almost did a page just of it on its own, but wasn't too worried about it. Now, now the sketch shows like a cluster kind of underneath. Well, it just has a heart, but that's just kind of a representation of where you could put a cluster. So I did start to kind of build a cluster underneath, but I am going to quickly realize that I like it up above. And what draws me to the up above part is I'm going to get out this journal piece, which is on the left currently. There's so much in this Happy Scrappy bag that you guys, if you are full set syndrome, this is the best purchase that you could do. Anyways, this little journal piece here wouldn't fit down below, and I really wanted to use it. So I thought I would go ahead and maybe make the cluster up above this photo on the very right. And so I'm going to play around quite a bit. You're going to see me trying different flowers. Not used to the size of the die cut pieces. I'm used to a little bit smaller, but I noticed that even Doodlebug has been making their die cuts bigger and bigger. I think maybe the draw to that is that a lot of people still, not a lot of people, but it seems to be a thing to do the single photo page with just one or two photos and a whole lot of embellishments. So I think that that might be why the embellishment pieces are getting bigger and bigger. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But I went ahead and started. I wanted to do my title, which I have currently on just sitting on a ruler so I could kind of move it around a little bit. You might have seen me like try to place it a couple times, but before I put it down, I kind of wanted to build the cluster so that it would go over the cluster a little bit. I'm kind of happy. I didn't want it to just sit there by itself. I didn't want to cover up anything too important, I guess, either. Not that these die cut flowers are super important, but I definitely wanted them to sit on something. I had this cluster here, but I did notice that there was a couple pink flowers. However, I couldn't find another flower that I really liked, and there's a lot of pink flowers in the photos. And it's not that I had a problem with the pink flowers, I was just trying to pull in more colors is all that I was trying to do with that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all these clusters down, and then when I get ready to do the title, I am going to try a couple different labels instead of, again, just having the words sit there on the paper. I thought maybe some labels. I really like this blue label, but I kind of cut it too short, and that was my fault because I was just kind of going too fast and not really paying attention. I'm gonna try different colors. I'm actually glad because I think in the long run it wouldn't have looked as good on the label. And I think actually that I don't end up putting anything there at all anyway. But I'm still looking. I'm looking at all this stuff to see if there's anything that I could put there. I am going to cut that brown tag to see maybe if the brown tag would work. I thought about this little piece and just trimming it off. I actually do go ahead and cut that. I put a couple letters on and tried it, but nothing was looking right. So I do just go ahead and put down the title. And I skipped ahead so that you didn't have to see the back of my head while I glued down the title. Now, I am not adding a lot of dimension. I am under a few things. There's bees. I'm not sure, I mentioned the bee in the left photo. I'm not sure if you can tell in the right photo that there's also a bee in that photo. It wasn't really my goal to take pictures of the bees. I was just doing the flowers, and a couple of them was more like a happy accident. So I decided to go ahead and play off the bee theme because the bees in this collection are really cute. The one that I add to the cluster on the very left-hand side, which I haven't started yet, but I will get to, he's probably my favorite of all. I don't know. He's actually at the top of the screen now. Um, I really like how he looks. I don't know. He's just kind of different than the normal bee colors. So I did pull out the chipboard. Now, at first I wasn't going to use this guy because the chipboard, I'm not used to American Crafts chipboard. And let me tell you, this is some thick chipboard. I was kind of surprised, and I think it's great how thick it is, but just for this page, because nothing really had a lot of dimension, and I didn't want that little bee to be like the main focal point of that cluster. So when I have chipboard that is too thick, you can just easily go along the side of it and kind of use your fingernail or something sharper and tear off some of the layers of the chipboard. I mean, you could take it down so it's actually really thin and it would work. You just kind of tear it and it makes it thinner is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I did, and I actually really liked it. It worked pretty good because I do like the way that that bee looks in that cluster. And then I had this also, so everything I'm using here except for the sequins at the very end came in the Happy Scrappy bag. So you get a ton of stuff, and you can order a separate, like if you want double sheets of all the paper, you can order a second paper pack. She has some of those available. Anyways, so I'm playing around the sticker sheets that I used. There was some bees. I kind of, looking at it now, I do like the bees, but I'm kind of wondering how crazy I am about them being kind of spread around the flowers. And maybe if I had to do it again, I might not add those around all over. I'm talking about the little ones that are kind of on the white cardstock, but I'm happy with it. So it is what it is. Now I'm working on the cluster, and I'm only going to have two really big main clusters, and it's the floral with the title on the right and then this kind of cluster here on the left. Now the only thing I will say is I wish that she had more like green leafy pieces to put in the clusters. There was a whole lot of flowers and a whole lot of flowers with the piece. Okay, actually I'm wrong. There is a bunch of big leaves, but I guess I'm thinking more maybe smaller pieces would have been a little bit nicer. But I'm happy with it. So it was fun playing with this collection, not being used to American Crafts and Paige Evans. So I do need to get my Bloom Street out. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. My goal is to really pull some stuff and start using up some stuff. I'm out of room on my shelves for anything more. You guys know that I've referred to it as a spending freeze, but I'm going to call it more of a shopping smarter and buying less this year. You guys know with a college kiddo, I don't really have much of a choice. So I don't want to say that I'm not going to buy anything at all, but I am going to be very mindful of my spending, and I just want to use some of the stuff that I have. I have so much stuff that it's kind of less is more. I'm ready to use some of what I have, and let me know below how you guys feel. I know a lot of people will go on a spending freeze. I heard somebody say that, or somewhere, like they'll do a certain amount of layouts before they can purchase something. I kind of like that idea, but I kind of go back and forth. So um, I don't know. Anyways, let me know below what you think if you're watching your spinning. I am definitely, I'm not going to say that I won't buy anything at all, like I said, but it will be only in even Doodlebug collections this year. It will be maybe a couple pieces of the pattern paper and the ephemera pack, and that's about it. It's going to be, Doodlebug is one that I am allowing myself to buy, but I don't know. I just kind of want to use what I have and play around and have fun. I do have another series that I'm going to start up on my channel. I've just been waiting for the right time. And otherwise, yeah, check out this collection on My Little Scrapbook Store, and check out the link below if you want to join in future online crops. We don't have any scheduled at the moment, but there should be one over the summertime. We usually do one every few months. It is hit or miss whether or not I will be able to join because of everything that's going on, but I will try my best. Now here is the last thing that I am going to add, and I also got these from Michelle as well. These are from Picket Studios, and what are they? Button cap, floral button cap sequin mix. I'm not sure what they're called, but the main reason I wanted it was for these little flowers that I just showed you here. Uh, I think those are fun to sprinkle around, and they add just a little bit of something more to the clusters. I only add 3 in the very left and 3 in the very right cluster, and that is it. So the still shot photos are coming up. I love how this turned out as far as using the sketch, you know, stretch the sketch type of thing. You can join in and you don't have to use the sketch exactly like it is as well. But if you have any more questions about My Little Scrapbook Store or the online crops, please let me know below. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this layout. And let me know if you get this bag or if you have any of this line Splendid. And I shall talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.